But we all have things that happen. But you just said too, some of the people I care about the most that I know if they would flip the switch, their life would change. They never got out.
They just never.
So
they couldn't do it. So I feel like he was saying, we all have the drive. Not everybody, but the people that are in our kind of situation have the drive. And you're right. You just either need somebody to guide you. You need to learn on your own, or a switch just needs to be turned, like me.
Welcome back to Unlock Your Mind. We're here today with our special guest, Jason Zimmer from J&M Cooling and Heating. And of course, we got the late and great Jason Beauvais.
what's up, bro?
What's going on, man? I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, man. We had some good talks off camera, man. I'm excited to put it on camera. But yeah.
Yeah, introduce Jason, how you met him.
All right. So first of all, you can tell I'm a lot bigger than him. So when he came up to me at the gym, right. When he saw me at the gym, he's like, "Can I get some tips?" And that's why he looks the way he does. No, all seriousness, I actually, and we'll dive into your, the company you built and stuff real quick. But you guys know that we're bringing people on that have started from, I don't want to say started from nowhere, but basically didn't come from money, they didn't come from wealth, and now he's running a multi-million-dollar company with his business partner. So we want you guys to understand how could you not start with it and then grow it to where it's at, and we're gonna get some good principles. But yeah, I actually met him, 7-8 years ago, and he was working with my cousin at George Brazil. So you were actually in a company, and
Yes.
We met, and right away I just was like, this dude's awesome. He's cool. We kind of connected, and then we lost contact for a couple years, and then I saw your big, beautiful ass walking in the gym, and I'm like, oh shit, like that's my boy, right? And we go up, and we start talking. Our names were the same, so it was easy to remember his name, and then the rest was history. But yeah, man, like that was when I met you, you were just rock and roll at George Brazil, right?
Yeah, I just actually started the trade. I left my trade that I was doing for 20 years to start something new, which I was like, what the hell am I doing? I started there at $14 an hour, bro. $14 an hour. I was like, I'm 35 years old, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
So it was crazy. But I knew that if I started there and showed them what I could do, I always make it to the top somehow. So
That's a common theme for you when you get in somewhere.
yeah,
You learn
I do. I got 7 raises my first year.
in 1 year.
1 year, I got 7 raises.
Did it go from like 14 to 14.25? I'm just poking.
I'm kidding. I think by the end of the year I was like making like 17 or 18 bucks, which still wasn't good money, but
Yeah,
got lots of overtime.
Yeah, but to go that fat, no one gets 7 raises in a year. It's just crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then what was that transition there? So you went from there, because then I met you, and then I think a little bit later you were in sales.
So after a couple of years, I learned in the warranty department, like just the grind, like the real job. And then I did end up going into service, which I am a people person, so I wanted to give it a try.
Yep.
But that was commission. So I went from a guaranteed money to I don't even know if I'm gonna get a check next week.
Yeah.
So I started doing it, and I just did well. I mean, I was blessed. I was very honest. I did the job the right way, and I just grew from there.
So you went from $14, and I think in a short amount of time.
My first year, so I was making probably like 50,000. My first year in sales, which was a half a year, I made 94,000.
Okay.
So my second year in sales, I went to 150.
Okay.
My third year, I went to 200,000. So just
For $14 an hour.
Then I was like $15,000 checks. Let's go on a shopping spree.
Let's go on shopping.
I was like, damn, I would show my wife. I said, look at my check. And she's like, holy cow. I'm like, go get whatever you want. Here's $5,000.
I love it.
So I splurged because I didn't have, a lot growing up. So
Yeah, we're gonna tap in that right now. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take you there in a second. I would say that's a big part of what I want to talk about today. But I want to say something. So, how long are you guys with J&M? Just real quick. I want to play real quick. I want to make sure this gets
we've
out.
been going. This is our 4th year.
Okay.
So
And then but you said something earlier to us off camera I thought was funny, because I just see you now with all your vans, and they're sexy, and they're driving around, and bro, you're really good at what you do. You've done stuff at my house. So if you guys are looking for it, these guys are the best.
yes,
They do
we're
great service.
honest. We might not be the cheapest every time, but we do it right.
Yep, that is true. He's not the cheapest. But anyway, I'm just kidding. No, but be honest.
Do you want it to work?
That's
or not?
No, true.
Yeah.
And but you do the right thing. But you just said off camera, how did you start your company? What did you say you were driving around as a hatchback?
I started
What was
my
it?
first year in a Nissan Xterra.
with the ladder on
With the
top.
ladder on top.
You're like,
My
Eric,
first year.
you come rolling up to someone's house,
Yeah.
and they're like,
Yeah.
"What the hell is this?"
They're probably like, who is this? I'm here to fix your AC. But it's 118, so they're not going to say go away.
That's true.
So yeah, we did that the first year. And then the second year, we were able to get our first band. So
Hey, a quick question
Yeah.
on that. So you're making 200 grand a year. Like, what made you want to risk it?
everybody said that. They're like, you're stupid. And it was just always a bucket list thing. I always wanted to try to be my own boss. I mean, there was other things that led me to that, like the dishonesty of working for a big company. They're ripping off people, high prices. So it always bothered me, but it was how I made my money. And I always told myself one day, I'm gonna do this the right way.
Ah,
So I just said, I
I,
can't.
I
can't
love
do it.
I love that, man.
Yeah. So I just,
The show's over.
I know, seriously.
I mean, it's just true.
The
I mean,
right way.
most of the big companies are owned by investment companies, and not to say that's bad, but it's the dollar at the end of the day. It's not the customer. So with me, it's the customer.
Bro, we dwarfed our entire financial services company off the same thing. I went and I taught him some strategies, or we went and learned some stuff, and he looks me in the face and he's like, "We got to go right some wrongs." And now we have this multi-million-dollar company. That core principle,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. People say, but like everyone says it all the time. Oh, I'm going to stand up, and they never actually. It's hard to walk away from $250 a year if you're you're making 20, 30 grand a month. Your whole life changes, right?
It was very hard. I didn't know I could always go back. I mean, that's one thing that kind of helped me get out there. I was like, I can go back if it doesn't work out, but I'm not the kind of person that doesn't let it work out.
It's gonna work about that. Talk about that.
I'm just gonna make it work. Like, I've always been on the grind, and I just got to do it. I mean, I just always knew if I do it the right way, I'm gonna grow. So
That's it.
and it happened.
Where does that come from? Like, help.
Take us back, bro. Take us
Yeah.
back. Take us back. We talked about some things I want you to touch on. A good question, Andre.
I don't know where it really came from. I mean, I just seen wrong my whole life growing up. So I don't know. I didn't even know what right and wrong was, to be honest. It's just a feeling in your body, I guess. Don't make me cry, guys.
No, it's coming. It's coming.
You talked about that. I'm not going to cry.
coming, dude.
But it's just a feeling, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, most people, when they're doing right and wrong, they know what's wrong and they know what's right. So you just got to, no matter what it is, if you don't make money, if you lose money, just do it the right way, because in the end, it's going to work out.
So take us back, growing up, real quick, just quickly, because you paused for a second, and then you stared. And I don't even know if you knew you were staring into the camera. You're supposed to, because you did, because you're new to this right now.
Yeah.
But like you stopped. Like here's the reality, dude. We talked off camera. We're being light a little bit right now, but like you were saying certain things, and I was watching your body reaction. You just said it. It's a but like,
I mean, I grew up like
pause.
getting beat. I grew up in the hood, basically. Government cheese, cornflakes, powdered milk. And to me, it was normal. I didn't know any difference except what I seen on TV, because all my friends were the same way.
Yeah.
So it was just really hard. And I've always worked to try to help my mom, because my dad didn't pay the bills. I came from pretty much nothing.
you get me tearing up. I
It's hard to talk about it because you don't really realize how bad it is, because you don't talk about it. You just stuff it down. And that's what gives you that drive to do better, I feel like. So, I mean, it wasn't just on my own. I had a really good partner. So my wife, I've been with her since she's been 16. So we're going on 30 years.
Damn.
So she really pushed me, and she was always there.
So put that foot in ass.
Yeah, pretty much. Like 15 years ago, she told me if I don't come to Arizona and start over, she's leaving. So I got on the plane, no bullshit, guys. I got on the plane the next week with $1,000, and I came to Arizona. And
From where?
From Chicago. So, and went back a month later, got my family,
Man.
and been doing it since.
Damn.
Just killing it.
I didn't even know that, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I came back with $1,000 in my pocket. Yeah. Got a hotel, got a job, got an apartment. Yeah.
Because
Expenditure.
people see you now, like I see you, bro. You be roll up at the gym. You got your nice BMW. You like cars. You like that stuff, right? You have nice stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I never had it, so I get made fun of all the time because I'm buying cars all the time, and people are like, "Why do you waste your money?" I'm like, "Bro, I never had it, so I want it." It's crazy. I do put money away, but I do live every day with what I have. So I enjoy it. We don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. So I give my money out to my friends. I mean, it's crazy because my wife always says, why are you giving them money? Because I can. I just want to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not greedy. I just help everybody. I give a big tip. We gave a tip the other day at the restaurant. I gave the lady $100. I think the bill was like $30. My wife was like, why would you do that? Because she probably needs it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I try to be giving as much as I can. But yeah.
How do you make it from
Yeah.
like I'll call it the worst part of life, right? How'd you make it out with a heart like that? Like with the things you've seen?
That's a good question. I don't know because nobody did that shit for me. I don't know. God, I guess. I believe in God. And, God always says help the people that are less than you. So that's probably it. Just thank Jesus for that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, I did grow up in church. That's one thing I will say. I was made to go to church, and then I left it for a while, and then I got back into it because I wanted to make a change in my life, and I knew He would help me. So, and I just learned. That's how I learned to be probably a good person. Nobody taught me.
But you had a patch, and we're not going to get to all, but there was a patch where, because you said something off
Oh,
camera.
man.
Wait, you said something on camera I think it's important. Is that you said, hey, man, there's that thing in us, like it's right or wrong, and if you use it for the wrong, it still flourishes. It just flourishes the wrong way. And then at some point, whether it's someone in your life intersects and says, bro, you better get on that plane. If you don't, you're out and you're losing your daughter, you're losing me. And then there's a wake-up call sometimes. You're like that moment where I call them God moments. But God, like they hit you like crap. And you're like, where'd that come from? And then you have to make a decision. But all of us can attest on this screen that we've used it for both sides. I'm going to leave it there. I don't know how far we're going to go to family. I don't want to go. I'm saying we've all used it. And we were very good at that too. And then we said at some point, yours was that gun in your head at that thing. And then you go home, am I going to go and change my life? Or am I going to go jump in the car with my boys and go do something radical? Which that would have said, I promised I could towards that where I ended up, right? Not where you need to be, right? And then, but we all have things that happen. But you just said too, some of the people I care about the most that I know if they would flip the switch, their life would change. They never got out.
They just never, they couldn't do it. So I feel like he was saying, we all have the drive. Not everybody, but the people that are in our kind of situation have the drive. And you're right. You just either need somebody to guide you. You need to learn on your own, or a switch just needs to be turned. Like me, I was running the streets every day. I was doing lots of bad stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, not good stuff at all, but I don't know what it was. I think mostly because of my wife, and I had my daughter, and she basically made me change, which I don't know, honestly, if I would have changed without that. I feel like I would have because I want to be a good person, but honestly, I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for having that person in my life. So, I think if somebody's out there that you see struggling, just keep giving them positive information because you might change somebody's life just like that.
You know what's crazy for all of us too, and I just thought this in here? We're all in biracial relationships.
Yeah.
My wife's Hispanic, your wife's black. So it's crazy. Like we're like the blend, like everything they say is not gonna, you grew up rough. You're a biracial related. Everything they say the world says you're not going to win because of it. Like that's what made us flourish, right? It's Krem's thinking that. Like it's crazy if you look at all this blend because nothing's going to be perfect.
Yeah,
I think people think like they see us and they see you, they say,
oh, they think we got it easy.
Oh my god,
they have no idea.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Talk about that.
That's funny because people I have some friends that they're like, oh, you're just rich, you're this, you're that. I'm like, bro, I was way worse than you when I started. Like, they don't get it. Like, they just think, like newer friends that I've met, like, since I've had my company, had my stuff right, they don't even understand what we've been through. They think that we're just born this way, or I came into money, or, man, no, I was a dog, man. I worked, no bullshit. When we first started our company, I worked 73 days straight, 10-hour days, 73 days without a day off, hustling. Like, no, I didn't get nothing given to me. I went out there and got what I have. So, but they don't get it because they can't see it from our world. They just see what they see present. They can't understand the past. So
I think too.
That's
it's like people made it. Well, kudos to everybody who makes it.
Yeah.
But some people's journey looks so different.
Yeah.
They don't understand. Like you win or you lose, lose, lose. Like your family fails,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, I'm picking up on a few things you're talking about, like your wife, right? My kids, right? And then wanting to do things the right way.
Yeah.
Like I know when I was coming up, even if I didn't succeed at doing it the right way, and I was failing, I felt it a little bit,
Yeah.
right? And I kind of picked that up in your story a little bit too, where it's like you feel it a certain way.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, like especially with our kids, like because I knew for sure I didn't want my daughter to go through anything of what I went through, and sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes it's a bad thing too because she's spoiled. But my daughter will also have her master's at the age of 21, going on 22. She graduated high school when she was 16. She got a full scholarship. She was in college at the age of 16. So I gave her everything I could give her. And I always, everybody tells me, no, you spoil her too much. You spoil her too much. I'm like, I just give her what I didn't have. And we don't do it on purpose. But when I took her back to the hood. We were talking about that. I took her back to where our family lives, my wife's family in Indianapolis, and took her into the bathroom and showed her where the shower was. Well, there's no shower head. It's just a pipe coming out of the wall, and you got to use a wash rag to wash yourself. And she didn't even understand that. She's like, "Where's the shower, Dad?" I'm like, "This is the shower. Are we going to go to a hotel?" That's what she told me. And it's fine because I didn't want her to see what we seen growing up. I didn't want her to have to ever live that life. So that kind of did give me a lot of motivation too, to start changing my life. So
it was massive.
My daughter and my two girls, I'll put it to you like that, put me on track. So yeah.
I've met your daughter. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's a good kid. I got really lucky, even though she doesn't talk to me much anymore because she's, going on 21 and, Dad's not important right now, but unless she needs something, but it's good. I get it. I was a kid once, so I know that's going to
It hurts a little bit being your daughter. I can tell. I can feel that. I can feel it. You trying to brush it off. You trying to brush it off.
I told her I was doing
You tried to glaze over that road thing.
I told her I was doing
Hey, she's going to watch this. This will be good. Hey, tell her what you
She
said.
laughed. I said, I'm going to do a podcast tomorrow. She just started laughing at me. You're doing a podcast?
I am our family.
I was just like, I thought,
From all angles, yeah.
I was like, thanks for the support.
All of us get us, dude. We all get it. We all get it.
So, yeah, but I owe where I'm at today to my girls, man. My hard work too. I'm not going to take it away from myself because I busted my ass. So I'll never not give myself the credit. But I even had family members tell me when I was young, you're never going to be anything. I was thinking about that this morning. That really sucks that they would say that your own family would tell you that.
Hey, our last
hear it.
episode, we talked about nobody's going to believe in you.
Yeah.
Talk about that though, because, okay, that's a common theme, right? Where, hey, I'm trying to better myself. And we expect people to like cheer us on.
Yeah.
Talk more about that.
It was just hurtful. Like, I don't know if that what gave me some drive too, but I still remember it to this day. And it was when I was younger, like probably 30 years ago, 40 years ago. But I still just remember my aunt saying that to me. And I was just like, what the F?
Yeah, why would you say that to the human being, bro?
Yeah. Why would you even say that? And you're my family too.
Why do you think she said it?
Well, I was living my life. I was bad. So I don't probably blame her. Maybe it was her way of trying to wake me up too. I don't know. They were successful people. I don't know why she would even say that to me, but yeah, I still remember to this day, and maybe that's good because it motivates me, so I can be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. No, but it's true.
Yeah.
You pull from both sides.
Yeah.
There are people that you pull from each experience. Like you said, in their eyes, they might have thought, "Oh, I'm gonna help him out. Let's tell him he's never gonna mount, and then he's gonna see we're successful." But the reality is, in life, anytime you put someone down, it's never a good response to it. Now, there's a difference if you're asking for, hey, and Uncle, can you become some constructive criticism on my life right now? But when it's not warranted.
And I get it because I do the same thing with some of my friends. I try to help them, and sometimes I might not say it right. And I can see that it bothers them, but I try to explain to them, like, look, bro, I'm telling you this because I want you to be better. You're just taking it wrong. It's all it is. You think I'm being aggressive or I'm being mean, but the truth is I do want you to succeed. And I try to do that because I didn't get that. So I do it because I want people to be better, and I'm hoping maybe I can make a change in their life. But
Bro, they don't
They
receive
don't.
it.
They don't receive it.
It's not received.
They don't receive it because maybe they don't feel the pain of what I've been through, so they can't understand the criticism that I'm giving them. If they could really understand what I've been through, then they could probably be like, "I get it," but they don't. They just see me now, so they don't take it the way that I'm trying to get.
That's actually pretty deep, and it's true though.
Yeah.
Because when we're trying to explain something, and I know you have this happen quite a bit, like because he'll be that's all I was gonna say. I was trying to be nice. Happens a lot for him because he'll be talking like this, right?
Yeah.
And then if he sees that your full potential is not coming out, he does it. That switch doesn't know how to. There's leveler in there to say I'm gonna deliver this in a soft. It just comes out. It's still in from a good place, right? It's still from a good place. In his
They don't
line,
see it. Yeah.
oh my
they
God,
don't
they don't even
They take it. They take it wrong, and
Yes.
and that's the thing I don't understand. They're like, "Oh, you're just trying to hold me back. You're jealous. You're this." I'm like, bro, I freaking didn't have nothing. I'm not jealous of anything. Trust me. I can't even be jealous of you. That's impossible. Like, you know where I came from. Like, why would I be jealous of that? You know that, and they just. You're right. I don't know if they could ever understand it because they haven't been to where we've been. You know, so they might have had a rough life, but not a rough life, what we call a rough life.
But let me help someone because this is going to go to, and I'm going to say your point. Let me help someone that didn't grow. I didn't grow up like that. My mom and dad are like, did they fight and do stuff? Yeah, but my mom and dad are still together and they're married forever. He knows my mom and dad, right?
Yeah.
But here's how you win in an environment like this. This is where people fail. So when he starts telling me his story, like I just stop and I listen. And I'm like, fudge and acres. Like, how the hell did you? Now I got in trouble, so I can relate some of my getting in trouble. Like, hey, the cops were out front.
He got into money trouble because he had money. So
No. My trouble was here's my trouble. I'm selling ecstasy out of my apartment on 51st Avenue in Thunderbird, and I get raided by the sheriff's department. My dad's a cop, by the way, with the sheriff's department. And then they call him to, hey, your son's here. As they're handcuffing everyone, and I'm sitting there watching all my friends, and then my dad walks in, and they're like, you get to get off because your dad's a cop. What do you think happened to all the buddies that got busted? Like now I'm like, I would have went down. I didn't call my dad. I'm like, fuck, getting pulled over.
Spoiled brat.
But like that scenario, and then my dad being like, you just ruined my entire name to the whole police department. You're a fuck up. Oh, and by the way, you have a kid already. I'm like, so it's not the same, but I can relate into certain things. Like, but I didn't, dude. I'm like, he didn't. Yeah, we got our ass beat a little bit, but I didn't get like I wasn't freaking out if I wet myself, I'm gonna get murdered, or hey, you're walking in, he's totally drunk all night. But what I do is, if I'm on this side, I don't try to match my story to his. This is the problem with the world. You know, we connect. I'm not gonna go back and be like, oh, I gotta now be harder. I gotta act harder around Andre because he and people are like act weird. Like, why can't I just be cool with my story, which is true, and we connect them together? You know why we're doing this show right now? Why we're searching for people that come from nothing and built $1 million businesses or make over $1 million? Is because we're trying to build our network of people. Because we get us together and we start putting our brains together and we sit down, we take over everything.
The world,
it's done. Because there's a lot of people that are I watch you kind of joked off camera, like, hey, a lot of people come to you at the gym. Well, bro, you're in shape and you're into it, and that's a part of your life that you like. Bro, people gather to you in there. So I'm like, if we start putting our minds together at this level, we all respect where we're at. Like, your stories sound a lot more similar. Me and Chad sound a lot more similar. Wasn't terrible, but there's undertones. There's undertones.
What you just talked about right there, that's similar enough, right?
Yeah.
We can relate to it.
Yeah.
You know, like I can relate to that. Like, hey, this could be it.
Yeah, because if your dad wasn't there, it puts you in the same boat as we are in. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it.
And I don't know what's worse. Both of you said, man, never really had a huge influence on my dad. I don't know what's worse, looking at your dad in the face and saying, you just fucked up my career.
That's probably worse.
You just fucked up my career.
Exactly.
You piece of, I'm like, oh shit, daddy hates me.
You have to see that for many, many years probably. You probably had to look at your dad and be like, you let him down. And that, like, my dad was a shitty dad, so I don't really give a fuck. For you, that's a lot of mental abuse because now you're dealing with, damn, I fucked it up for my dad, and my dad loves me and does everything for me.
So the core I'm trying to get with all this, everyone watching today, we all have something everyone's saying is striking something in somebody. If you can learn how to harness that, whether right now it has to be the mode where some of us went to, or like, F that person, I got to freaking put my head down and go prove them wrong. No. Or it's the part we're at now, we're in our life, we're like, we ain't prove anybody wrong anymore. We're just successful and we're going to try to give back. Not everyone's going to get it. That's how we're impacting where we're at. But I know you were going to say, I didn't want to interrupt, you were going to say something earlier. I don't know if you still have the thought.
I was gonna say, like, the one thing that was said to me recently that I thought was helpful is like when we see other people, we see what we would do if we were in their shoes,
Right.
right? And then we see all this potential, and then we talk about it. But if they don't see that in themselves, there's nothing you can do, right? And I resonate with you because I had so many times where I'm like, I'm gonna make a change and be the example.
Yeah.
And then it's going to inspire others so they know to do it too. And it just doesn't work out quite like
It
that.
does not work less than.
But how it does work is we've elevated us. I'm elevated to a spot where I could be sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Same with Jason. And then we're the circle
Yeah.
that changes
Yes.
and moves on.
Yep.
You know, and as you were talking, I was thinking about that. Like, man, I keep going in that circle too, and then people get mad at me. And I'm like, man, my heart really is in that
We
spot.
really do want to help, and they just don't understand it because the pain that we've been through, they haven't, so they don't take it the way that we put it out. So,
Yeah. Or they've experienced it and they've buried it
yeah,
in a place to where it's an excuse,
Yep.
yeah,
right? I'm now a victim for life,
yeah.
right? And no part
Yeah, I
of
know
your
some people
story
like
was that.
too. Yeah. I know some people like that too. They're like, oh, is just bad in my life. Like, no, you gotta fucking take the bad, and turn it into good. Like, we all have to do that if you're gonna be successful. Otherwise, we're all just gonna be drug addicts. And I mean, think about it. Like, if we don't take that and want to change, then you're just not gonna change. You're never gonna do anything with your life.
So I'm going to give you
So.
the final word for today, right? We're going to wrap it and we're coming to the end. We'll do more. It's pretty fun, huh?
Yeah.
It actually is cool to get going, right? You know, no, it's not bad, right? But Joe, I'm telling you, you're going to impact a lot of people. We're going to get this out. It'll go all over the place. It's going to be cool. But like what? So if you were to give a final, like someone is like, man, I know I want to be an entrepreneur. I feel it inside of me. Maybe I grew up with some crap in my past, or like, what would you say to them? Maybe one or two things that like they could do right now. And if they do that, then they would be able to start getting.
I mean, the biggest thing is you just got to do it, and that's it. You got to freaking do it and do it right. If you do it right, might not work out next week or the week after, but eventually it's gonna work. Just do the right thing and treat people like you want to be treated, and that's it.
Oh, I love it, bro.
That's it.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on there, man.
I
Big
know.
deal. Hey, block cheese to run $1 million companies.
There you
baby.
go.
Block cheese government.
And there's more coming.
There's more coming, man.
Yeah.
Just getting started.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you guys are looking for an awesome company, right, dude? Honestly, you've done good by me personally. You've come out and done awesome stuff. Our gym's the coldest ever in the whole neighborhood. The heat is right.
Look me up online.
But look them up. We'll get you guys stuff.
Google, everything. So
How do they contact you?
Yeah, how they get you?
Man, just look me up online. You'll find all the information on there. We're all over the
We'll
website.
put the tag up for
Yeah.
your stuff. All right, guys. Hey, man, we appreciate you, man. We want to partner up and do more stuff.
All right.
Thanks, bro. Guys, have a good rest of the day.